Hey there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever time of day it is for you, whatever day it is for you, because we're a day behind here in the States from Australia, though it's pretty early for them. All my buds down in Australia. Janine, hello. I'm going to go ahead and bring you in. And today we're you on day 135 of 365 days of How Do I Love Myself Today? And here is Janine. You're here.
Good morning.
And good morning. Oh, yeah, it was
I'm here.
yes, yeah, you the
I guess
being
I take my glasses off.
disconnected. Oh, I'm hearing myself in the background. That's interesting. And I see that you have your headset on, so that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's just me recording on me. So yesterday we got
Ah,
interrupted, and how did the gym go?
the gym was great. It was great.
Yes,
Yes. I love
it's
the gym.
definitely a good way to love yourself. Yeah,
Oh,
the
it is.
endorphins that we get are just so powerful, and it's like getting back into dance. And you'd mentioned
Yeah.
something about value, and when I asked the question about value, we got disconnected, and I was like, "Ooh, there is so much energy on how do we determine our value."
Right.
So and that's one of the ways that we love ourselves is we value ourselves.
Right.
And there's not a lot of formulas out there, especially as entrepreneurs, on
Mm.
how do we value ourselves. And so when you said, yeah, let's continue the conversation, I was really excited. So let's hit the container first. So it's day 135 of
Okay.
365 days of how do I love myself today? And that's for you to ask as well as me to ask. And so how are you loving yourself today?
Today I was at the gym again.
It gives you the
Oh
biggest
my
smile.
gosh. That's what my friend said. I told him yesterday, I said, I was live when you were talking to me. He said, oh my God, I'm sorry. He said, next time I'll just say, the gym is that way. I said, more importantly, I know your name. So I thought, what is your name? So we exchanged names. I was up early this morning in stillness, and that was pretty much gratitude and intention for my day. And then I took my son to school. I went and I tried my best to pass the street. I'm like, don't go to the gym, just go straight home. And I was like, no way. So I did. I hit the gym. And then I walked around my neighborhood a bit because there's some beautiful flowers and they just inspire me. The burst of their colors. Um, Hi, Amoki. And the roses. I am just overwhelmed with joy with nature. And then I came in and fixed me a smoothie, a green smoothie,
Excellent.
and I'm ready to go.
Fabulous, fabulous. And I love that you said that you you were like telling yourself not to go to the gym. Most people are saying,
So
I gotta go to the gym. Oh, I gotta go to the gym and we'll pass it by. And instead you're like, just pass it by. And you're like, no, I gotta go to the gym. That is so
I
good.
it's
So
just part of a rhythm for me when I can do that. It's something the
yes.
gym and the guys are there and they're encouraging. Or if it's not that, then it's a walk in nature and walking around where I am. I live on tree-lined streets, which is actually why I bought the house here. And it's just beautiful for me. And it's peaceful and it's calming. So, and
Oh, I
I've got a
love that.
whirlwind of a day, as many of us have. So that was the way I wanted to
Yes.
start it and love me.
That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah. There's so many things on the calendar. I actually loved myself by sleeping. Julie, nice to see
Nice.
you. Awesome. Yeah, I like 3 days in a row basically got 3 hours of sleep, and I was processing some stuff, and the Facebook Live on Sunday I was like, sobbing or had just been sobbing, and
Uh-huh.
so finally getting that restful sleep, the deep sleep, the restorative
Mm-hmm.
sleep, as well as the just 8 hours, and typically 7 hours is my sweet spot, but to be able to get that I felt caught up. So
Right.
that was good. And so that's, the whole day going forward, I think will be much better because I've got that restoration and we're going to talk about value and so what is your formula or how do you know how to value yourself? Because this is so important, and I'm sure that Julie would like to know as well, and anybody else that's going to watch later that tops on. How do you value yourself? How do you set your value?
It's been a long journey for me and really Spirit, God, life, the universe, however your community defines that, dropped it in my meditation about 2 years ago. And what I heard was, and you've heard me say this, I think, choose you first, love who you are, not just what you do. And as soon as that dropped in my spirit in meditation, I'm like, oh my God, that is so good. And then I thought, okay, how do you do that? And so for the last 3 years, I guess the universe said, well, we'll show you how to do that. And so one of the first things I would say to anyone is about awareness. Our days are spinning. You know, I took my son to school. I went to the gym. I'm in the middle of a launch. I've got copy to write for a page. My editor is asking me about my book chapter. I've got things I want done at my home and plumbing I need to be done and people to be called. So
and you took the time to be here and share this. And you took the time in the midst of all that to share this with us.
Oh, absolutely. And I had this. This was important for me to be here. So in the midst of all that, we're just swimming. At least I was. Maybe everybody does.
I think most of us are. I think most of us are.
So yeah. It really became important for me to become aware. And it's a baby step, but it's a fundamental step to become aware of how you're feeling when we're doing what we're doing. I was able to do so much, even in my business as an entrepreneur now, and even when I was working my 9 to 5, because my focus was out there. What do I need to get done? What do I need to check off my list? Who needs what? How do I make it happen? Because we can make things happen. We truly can be super women. I found myself do that one day. And it was all focused out on them. And then when I finished the day, I could say, yay, I accomplished it. I did what everybody wanted me to do. Tired, worn out, wasn't going to the gym, not eating properly. But that's what I had been taught, because so many have been taught that our value is based on what we do. And we do and do and do. So the first thing is just to become aware of you. Aware of, like you said, sleep. Women may not realize, I want to say maybe by 40 on, sleep is monumental and critical to our health. If you just get more sleep, you'll be better. But become aware of you, how you feel when you have all these things that you have to do. What really needs to be done? What's going to fulfill you? What makes you feel good? And I know we struggle with, well, if I set a boundary, somebody will be mad at me. If I say no, somebody may reject me and they won't love me. If I don't do what my mom says or my friend says, I know we have those voices in the back of our head, and that's what's driving us to keep going and going and doing and doing. And it's impacting our health, our waistlines, our relationship, our money, and our business. So to become aware with each choice that you make, be aware, does it fuel you? Does it feel good? How come you're doing it? And be honest. You may say, well, I'm just doing it because they want me to. Okay, fine. We'll start there with how do we help you say no? How do we know that your time is valuable and what others think and want from you is something for you to evaluate? There'll always be somebody to want something from you. You're all amazing. But we get to be the ones to set that limit. So the first thing was my awareness of myself, my time, my energy, how come I was doing it. And it wasn't for me, it was for them. I had been trained and groomed growing up. You take care of others, you serve, you do for others. Nowhere in there does it say, do for you. Oh, no, if you do for you, you're selfish. The S word, that's the bad word.
I know when I started doing this, that's what came up. It's like, how do I love myself today? Oh, you know, I had to go against, push against that edge of, oh, you're being selfish. If you're loving yourself, how arrogant is that? If we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of everybody else, at least not long term, not without a detriment, not without that total loss of identity and health. And Jessica knows. Hi, Jessica. Nice to see you. It's been a long time. So,
and we don't have that sense of fulfillment. I mean, all the stuff that we're doing, we're losing out on the sense of fulfillment that will nourish our soul and our spirit, so that what we do, we can do it fully and completely and be present and bring our essence. We can bring the presence of who we are. And a lot of people say, well, how do you know your value? I'll give you this one. Notice what people say about you. Notice if they say, oh, you're a great listener. Oh, I really like you. I like this about you. You do this really well. They're telling you your value. You just say, oh, well, because you do it easy, or you think, oh, it's no big deal, it doesn't have any value. But they're telling us in every moment what they value from us. And if we listen, we may find out it's not all the running around and stuff that we do. Sometimes it's just your presence. Sometimes it's a kind word. It's a compliment. You listen well. You motivate them. You inspire them. They're telling you your value all the time.
Yes. I had
We
someone
just don't value it. We don't think it's enough.
exactly. Yes. I had someone tell me, I so appreciate you, Gwen. And it's like, I barely knew this person. I mean, seriously, I barely knew this person and I'd never done anything for him. And he said, I so appreciate you. And I'm like freaking out. And it took me over a year to ask him, why did you say you appreciated me? He goes,
Right.
because I appreciate who you are. I said, but I've never done anything for you. He said, you don't have to do anything for me to appreciate you.
That's
And
it.
I blew my brain out and I still get chills saying it because I didn't value myself outside of what I did for others.
Right.
And we were just talking about, what people tell you. I had a really good mentor say, the first time I saw him speak, he said, the thing that comes easiest to you and most difficult to somebody else
Right.
is what you get paid the most for. Because most people go, well, that's so easy. Why I shouldn't charge for that? Because And there's the ultimate yardstick. Well, it's not the ultimate yardstick, but it's the yardstick in our society, which is how do you charge for your value? How do you determine that? Do you have a formula for that?
That's a good question, but I see something here from Jessica, and she's a mom of 4, and I just want to acknowledge you're absolutely right. It is challenging, particularly in these days and time. And I have to figure that some of those may be younger children more so than older children. Hi, Tony Wallace. And it is challenging, but even in that challenge, my dear, I still say to you, now, you've got to want it. It's not going to come knocking on your door. And the world is set up already. You can see how things are for women. They love us, they rape us. They love us, they beat us up. They love us, they criticize them. So we have this thing going on. So you're going to have to decide you want it. It may mean that you get up 30 minutes early just to have some peace and quiet, just to organize your day, just to take a deep breath. It may mean that you have to tell the children, and I know they're going to give us a hard time for it, that you sit the kids in front of the TV so you can take a bath, so that you can unwind, but so be it. It will require that you come for this for yourself and that you make little needlepoint shifts in the way you do things. And one of the things we don't have a tendency to do much is we don't ask for help. We do everything. Ask for help and some support. Absolutely. Right, we do live in a culture that values doing. Absolutely. And we get to decide in our personal, individual lives, though, how much we're going to do. What reward are you going to get? Brownies in heaven because you do and fall out dying from a heart attack or whatever? What is it we're going to get for all this doing? But more doing. I could be wrong, but it seems like the more I did, there was more people saying, hey, can you do this? Hey, can you do that? And finally, I'm saying, no, I can't do that. So I just want to acknowledge Jessica. Charging.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the things that when I'm coaching people is for them to really be honest about, the energy and the vibration that they hold in their relationship with money. Part of how come we're not charging is the relationship that we have with money. And Jessica, you probably write something about our whole culture as it relates to money too. Money is the thing. Everybody wants money.
It's the yardstick.
But the relationship we have with money may be an outdated relationship. Old beliefs, sabotaging thoughts. We're leaking money. We're loaning money that we really don't have because we don't want to say no. So when we have all of those playing in the background, hi, Regina, all of that will impact the choice that we make when it comes to charging. I remember when I first started, I think I charged $47 or some kind of numbers because I remember thinking, well, what will they pay? Right. It wasn't the value I was bringing. It was, well, let me set this at a price and then they'll buy it because it's $47 or it's $77. Versus when you have to step into, what is it about me, my presence, my wisdom, my experience, the journey I've walked through, the fire I've walked through, how many times I've fallen down and got back up, and I can still show up. We can step into that. Now we're bringing our value because it's right there inside of us. It's right there inside of us.
Absolutely.
So that becomes the issue when you're trying to charge. First, you have to look at what's your relationship with money. Can you hold a product for $9.97? Can you hold the vibration of a $9.97 product? Can you hold the vibration of a $1.97 product? Wherever it is, you start there and you begin to slowly shift your own internal relationship with money, which is going to bring in God because it's connected there. You shift what's happening inside of you And then that then helps you be able to recognize your value and then say, you know what? I can help you get here sooner, quicker, and faster because I walked it, I lived it, I groveled in it, and I still got up and came out fighting and said, I'm going to do this. I can share that with you and make your life easier, but it won't be for free because it wasn't for free for me. The days I cried and the days I figured it out and the days I was by myself and the days I was lonely, you get to pay for that journey that I took. And now you can stand in it because you recognize the value.
I didn't want to do a happy dance. That was I want to take that clip out and I want to put that on YouTube. I want to scream what you just said from the mountaintops because that is so freaking important. And people, when you feel in your body, what you're saying, how can you hold it? You'll know in your body. You'll know when you hear the number in your head. Say the numbers to yourself and what is the number that you go, yeah, okay, I feel that. And it may be a small number at first, but push yourself to say, well, what is my value? And use exactly what you just said, Janine, about your story and your, the life that you've lived and the tears you've cried and how you've gotten back up and you've gone and you've gone. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because no one's walked it like you've walked it.
Exactly. And the people that are your tribe, the people that can learn that from you, they can't learn it from anyone else.
Anybody else.
That's the thing that some people get. It's like, oh, somebody's doing the same thing. They're not doing the same thing. They're not you. They haven't lived your life. And your life is what connects you to the people that need you desperately.
Right. Absolutely. Right. And you're absolutely right, Jessica. Yes, it is about you learning to love you and appreciate you. And see, that's the other thing. I was going to do a talk at some point. I keep talking about it. Are you sleeping with the devil? Sleeping with is it the devil or the enemy? There was a movie out some time ago. You're sleeping with the enemy. So much of it is our own internal chatter and what we say to ourselves. And we're the ones. I was talking to a friend and she was concerned because she was feeling good and there was a lot of things that were going on in her life, but she felt good. And she said, I prayed and prayed and prayed. And we cracked up laughing. I said, well, when you prayed, you got an answer. What did you think it was going to look like? The way it looked was that you feel good in the midst of your storm. Come on now, if you're praying for solutions or you wanted, what, you thought the universe was going to just give you some more? No, this joy that you are experiencing is the answer to your prayer. I was teasing. I'm like, you didn't call down all the prayer warriors on Facebook. You didn't call down the whole universe, all your sister group to come and support you. And now you get the answer, but it doesn't look like what you thought because you feel good and you want to feel guilty about feeling good. And I said to her, no one's going to come and knock in your door and say, excuse me, you're not being good. No. It's what we say to ourselves. It's a quiet conversation. It's always running in the back of our mind.
It always is. Oh my gosh. I love what Janine wrote.
Jessica. Yeah, I was reading some of her notes too, right.
Yeah,
you have to value you. Because when we want it outside of ourselves, then we're buying clothes. That won't last. You're buying a car. That won't last. A new car lasts for how long with so many cars on the road? You go get a degree or 2 degrees or 3 degrees. It won't come from outside of you. Stand in front of the mirror and be willing to look at yourself and say, I love you just the way I am. And if you say, oh, I want to shift some things, okay, we'll work on that. But right now, today, I'm going to look at me and tell me if no one else tells me, because I'm always going to be with me, I'm good today. I love me today. Yeah, I made some mistakes. So what? That's along the journey. That's supposed to happen. Everybody. Don't believe it if they say they didn't. Everybody made a mistake. Will you love you? Will you honor that you're tired? Will you honor that tell the kids, you know what? I'm sleepy. So I've shut my house down. When my child was young, I'm like, I'm sleepy. We're shutting the house down. Everybody go to bed. But honor you. And as you honor you, you'll see others will honor you even more.
I knew there was a reason why we got disconnected yesterday because this piece needed to stand on its own. And I am so, so grateful and honored that you came and put your time in here and that Jessica showed up because I have a feeling that Jessica is going to start valuing herself at a higher rate now because of your words and that she's really feeling them because she's paid so many ways.
Yeah. And you've got children, boys or girls, whoever it is, show them. You get to be the example now for how they can help and impact our future. This conversation about women, it's time to wrap it up. The Me Too conversation, It's time to wrap it up. And they will be the ones in the next generation to stand way earlier than we did. They'll get angrier a lot earlier than we did because they'll see you. They'll see you standing for you. They'll see you taking your naps. They'll see you doing your exercise. They'll see you going back to school. They'll see you helping them be independent and take care of themselves. They'll see what it means to truly be a woman in a role. Because remember, everything else is a role. You came here as a universe as a female or however you define yourself. Okay, we won't get into that. But mom, wife, girlfriend, sister friend, all those other kind of things that women do, those are all roles. You didn't come here with a role. You came here with a beingness. That's what you came here with.
Yeah. I love
she says mirror work starts today. Yay, Jessica.
Starts today. Yes. Awesome.
Yes. Get in the mirror and start paying attention. When I talk about awareness, listen to that chatter. I always talk back to myself. I'm like, that's the craziest idea I ever heard. Who is talking to me? Who's saying that to me? You have to
we
wonder.
have so many parts. We have so many parts. And those sabotaging parts, I sat at dance in front of the mirror and there's people dancing all around me. And I looked in the mirror and I was saying, I love you and I love me. And what came back was, you have betrayed me. You have abandoned me so deeply. This part of me that was so integral. I came out feet first. I am a dancer. I've danced my entire life. And I abandoned that because I wanted to be with a man more than I wanted to dance. So I abandoned that part of me. Yeah. So being with myself is being in dance. And this morning I was taking care of something for my mom and there was hold music and I'm dancing in the kitchen to hold music.
Yes. And that's true because that's what yourself will tell you. I went to that a couple of weeks ago and I was texting someone and I remember I put my hand on my heart because it felt like my heart was just going to pound and just jump. I'm like, what is going on? And I heard and I just felt, I'm like, oh, I betrayed you. I am so sorry I betrayed you. Okay, I'm gonna pay attention. I remember I just put my arms around myself and said, I got it. I heard you. I'm gonna keep listening to you and I'm sorry. So she'll tell you inside of you what she needs if you ask her. Then you just gotta be willing to do it.
Absolutely. And we all have that. Men, women, however we identify, we all have that inside of us as humans, as souls, as beings. And I really wish I knew how to pronounce your name. Giacomo? Thank you so much for showing up and watching. Really appreciate having you here.
Hi, Brahma.
Janine,
I say Brahma Nyman.
Oh, cool. One of your tribe. Yay. So how do we wrap this up today? Because this has been so incredibly powerful. I'm so grateful that I met you and that we were able to do 2 days in a row of really bringing value. How do we wrap this up? Some last words about value.
Your call is for us to take each day and ask ourselves, how are we loving ourselves today?
Yes.
And that's the question. Every person that hears it, put it on a piece of paper. I always tell people, put it on your iPad, put it on your alerts, whatever, and ask yourself that question. How am I loving myself today? And that means the whole day, not just in the morning. But you
not just when you're on Facebook Live.
You know, you may find that you need to be off or doing other things. Put it on your calendar, maybe at 9, at 2, at 5, at 9 o'clock at night, where it just pops up as an alert and it asks you, how are you loving yourself today? And start there and be aware and honor you. You're magnificent. There's no one like you on this planet. You are a one-of-a-kind design. No one has to approve of you. You've already been approved by the greatest that there is.
That's
know
such a
that.
big one.
Live
That's
that.
so big.
Trust that. Hi, George.
Yeah, no one needs to approve of you.
No one needs to approve of you. The reason you're here is because you were approved of. If you
And you're
weren't
a miracle, but you're here.
You wouldn't be here if it wasn't necessary and significant for you to be here. You're approved of. And whatever they give you out there, you already know it doesn't last. How long does a new dress last? How long does the whatever last? The love, the sex, the whatever? Because it's coming from outside. And what Gwen is saying, for 365 days, join her on the journey, is to ask yourself the simple question, how am I loving myself today? And in that, you'll find your value.
Thank you, Janine.
Thank you.
Have been such an amazing guest, and I hope that we do it again soon. And so great to have you.
We do it again
here.
tomorrow. No, we won't.
Ooh, a whole week of Janine. maybe we should do a regular thing.
I should probably do yours because I'm supposed to do mine at 9 o'clock on Tuesdays. Since the last 3 weeks, I've been at the doctor and everywhere else, but I seem to have gotten on yours 2 days in a row. So thank you so
it's
much
interesting.
for having me.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one of the things that even though, doing things for ourselves, it's a little more difficult, and we'll do things that we say we're going to do for ourselves for another person easier. And so that's a piece to work in with our value. I show up better for other people than I do for myself.
Doing for others. And if we catch ourselves in the doing, I know it's ingrained. I know they've told us our whole life, but the message I got was love who you are.
Yes.
Not just what you do. And that's what you're telling them.
Yeah.
Love who you are.
Yeah, not just what you're doing.
So how am I loving myself today? Hi, Vivian Smallwood. We see you.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you very much. Take good care. Have an amazing and wonderful day. I feel great today, and I'm going to go sit right quick and get quiet and see what I'm going to do next. But it's been wonderful sharing with you. And I guess I'll see you in San Diego or something soon, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right. You take care.
Cool deal. Okay. Is that it? We're good?
Thank you for joining. Yeah, we're good. We're out.
Okay, we're out. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know how to push, so you push the button.
I'll finish this. Join me tomorrow for day 136 of How Do I Love Myself Today? And like Janine said, go ahead and put that on your alerts, on your mirror, on your desktop. Give yourself the reminders of, how am I loving myself right now? How am I loving myself in this moment? And it's not what you're doing. It's what you're being, who you are. Yeah. You're a miracle that you're even here. Yeah. And there are people in this world that need you being you.
Right.
Take care. Bye-bye.